I'm gonna try over here. We'll just snipe off these effusive hosts. You know. Nicer to put them down, given what they've been through.
Here we go.
Watch out. Pavati got hit pretty hard there, but that's alright. She'll live. Okay, I'm still looking for... I'm assuming it's gonna show me in here. Like, how am I gonna find an access card somewhere in this territory without some assistance? I mean... But so far, I haven't seen anything. Pop up onto some high ground. I mean, unless they've plopped into the wasp-mosquito nests, which I'd rather it didn't, frankly. I've got no other hint of exactly where this card is supposed to be. And I don't remember if she said where she might have lost it. I don't think she did. These are the hives. Those look like hives. Behind this, you know, glowing electric wall. It doesn't seem to, like, go up, or it doesn't seem to be a roof here, so why can't the wasp-mosquitoes just fly over it? Unauthorized personnel may be killed at their own expense.
Oh, hey. Are those wasp-mosquito hives? Don't worry, I'll keep my distance.
I've seen a few of them around. I'm gonna go in here, and I'm just not gonna touch anything that looks like it'll...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
There's the parasite spawnling. Is that on top? Or is it inside, but it's not open? Whatever this thing's detecting, I think it might be inside, but that door is sealed. Yeah, it's inside. I don't know how to unseal it. Maybe there's a way in over top? It's not a way up. So that's interesting. Oh, crap.
Here we go.
I just wanted to make you
Just dandy for the time being. Apart from these hives, there's not much else in here. But there's something inside this building, and I don't know how to access it. There's nothing I can interact with. I can't seem to unseal it. I certainly don't think I can climb on top. I know you think clues are nearby, but they're inside the building, which is sealed, and I don't know why. Won't break down, will it? No. Maybe it'll open later. Well, I'm gonna search around a bit more and we'll see. The Dissident Queen, Chapter 1 continued. Ha! Are those Halcyon Helen and Hyphen Tim I spy, crouching in the dark like terrified sprats? A fine job you two did on my ship. Most of my crew was torn to bits by the rampaging beasts. I have found you to pay you back with interest. I say we shall defer that payment, shouted Typhon Tim, and his hand flew to his holstered automag. Ere his fingers even touched the weapon's grip, he was struck 15 times in the face by a hail of bullets from Mercer's weapons, at which point he promptly expired. Helen, cool as usual in the face of death, hefted her bottle of nearly 100% meal grub-free purple berry liqueur and hurled it at the villain. Her aim was true as ever, and the projectile struck Mercer in the forehead, knocking him out so soundly he could not even utter a curse. "Fine aim, ma'am," said a woman close by, once the other patrons' cheers subsided, "though I must say I am sorry for your friend." "As was I, at first, but then I witnessed what lay in the wake of the bullets. Look." And as she gestured at what was left of Typhon Tim's head, something small and black began to wriggle amongst the gore. Kind of gruesome. So, okay, it's a serial, but they also seem to have like a novelization. That's, by the way, stealing that one. Of Helen's stories. I suppose there's a series, like expanded universe. Nothing. Now, these guys are just... yeah. See, you've got a slug as well. But not the intern. The intern doesn't get a slug. Maybe because she's an intern. I didn't think she needs it. What the... what were you shooting at? I didn't even notice. I thought Pavati was shooting at me for some reason. Well, there's the RR&DD labs. So I might pop in here first. I mean, who knows? You might have left a card inside one of these labs. I don't know. I don't know. But I have to go here anyway, so I think that's... momentary taste of purple berry. I will enter... I've got the access card for this, so let's... oh, it's transfer inside, so it's a map. Alright. Curiouser and curiouser. Do a quick scan. But it'll tell me if I walk past anything interesting.
Hello? I can hear you out there.
Dr. Blossom, hello.
You still possess the majority of your mental capacity. Please locate the test room to the lobby and to the left. You'll see me through the glass.
The lobby and to the left. Alright. I struggle with left and right, so... that way. I know the difference between them, but I always get them the wrong way round. Okay, well, we can hack for 65 and view recent appointments. Recent appointment is Ms. Ruth Bellamy, stage name Halcyon Helen. Description, lab tour. She took a tour of the labs. By Administrator Ludovico. He was in contact with her, I don't know if he mentioned it, for the product presentation, so that might not necessarily be suspicious. Alright, to department utility subject cleanup requests. Hello, I am so sorry. I haven't had the chance to get your name yet and update the terminal. When you have a moment, could you bring up a mop from the lobby? Mop to the lobby? Dr. Blossom seems to have had a rather rough night and spilled some coffee on the floor. Thank you. I don't know what that's euphemistically suggesting, but either she threw up or something, like some kind of experiment went weird. From Blossom to the department and all RR&DD lab employees. What in the Arctic's blue blazes is going on? What in the blessed corporate lore is all that commotion down there? I don't believe the rocket fuel combination distillery mixture was scheduled for another week. Could someone please inform me as to what all that racket is about? You better have a damn good reason for interrupting my meeting with the administrator. I expect a full explanation and apology within the next 15 minutes, or people are going to start losing jobs. Is that the death? That might be the death. To the left. There you are. 1 second. I'm gonna search. I can hear a creature.
That's awful. Wonder if this poor fella had a family.
What, this guy? How many corpses have we walked past, Pavati? At this point? So this is all the Rizzos. You got Lemon Slap, the Purpleberry Punch, more Lemon Slap and more Purpleberry Punch. Before Rizzo's was the confectionery juggernaut you know and love today, it was an above-average chemical waste management corporation. On one otherwise remarkable day, an employee on the slurry-stirring shift leaned a little too far over a chemical vat and dropped a single purpleberry that had been hidden in his jacket pocket. Instead of being immediately fired for his hazardous incompetence, the employee was given an ultimatum by his supervisor: retrieve the fallen fruit and stay employed. The employee jumped into the vat, swam for the purpleberry, and accidentally swallowed it. The rest is history. After he was pulled from the toxic waters, the stirrer stated that the chemical-coated purpleberry hadn't been half bad before falling into a toxic coma, giving his supervisor the idea to sterilize and adjust the chemical mixture for human consumption. Soon, the sour, sweet-coated purpleberries were more or less edible, becoming the first Rizzo's mass-marketed product, the Purpleberry Bunch. Yeah, it could have been worse, actually. I'm gonna sell off some junk. Well, I got a vending machine here. Alright, Dr. Blossom.
How in the aether did you get in here? You're not a Rizzo's authorized. Oh, void it all. What does it even matter now?
That's
What
what I've
do you want?
asked several
Speak
times.
up and quickly if you will.
Well, I've got a high-level lie here. Surprise inspection, you'll need to walk through the facility and to access your computronic systems. Yeah, I'm gonna lie. Who's that behind you?
Oh, please. Do I look like some simpleton groundskeeper to you? You do know I possess one of the highest IQs in all of Eridanos.
I'm not impressed by IQs. Call your boss, I assure you. Administrator Ludovico will confirm I'm an inspector.
Ah, you must be the freelancer captain he hired to solve that idiot actor's...
Okay, well you are quick, I'll give you that much.
Excellent. You'll be inclined to aid me then. You see, I've found myself in a bit of a pickle. Some of my lab techs have turned rather aggressive following a recent experiment gone awry. Hence why I've barricaded myself in the lab.
Is this this slug thing? Isn't there anything you can do to help?
Yes. I suppose I should make myself useful. Let me think. Ah, I know. I can remotely unlock the supply closets in the lower levels of the lab. Perhaps you'll find some useful apparatus or two in them.
That might be helpful. Well, I didn't see any hostiles on the way here from the entry door. You could make a run for it.
And lose my life's work?
Now you want to stay here.
Just burn my lab and my entire future to the ground over one experiment that's gotten rather out of hand? No, I think not. We merely need to clean up the mess, so to speak. Reset the lab back to functional parameters.
Sanitize it.
Clean up? They were human beings. Don't you care about them at all?
Staff can be replaced, you know. Research data? Now that's invaluable.
How very scientific of you. Pavati seems to be the voice of conscience in my group, because I didn't even, like, oh yeah, I'll just kill them all. I don't know if whatever their situation they're in is reversible, but I've already kind of slaughtered quite a large number of them, so I think it might be a bit late for that morality check. What goes on in these labs that would turn your researchers against you?
Oh no. They're quite unaware of their actions, I'm afraid. We're a research and development branch of Rizzo's, focused primarily on the Spectrum vodka line. But the specific research that goes on in this facility is utterly confidential. You understand?
Persuade 105. I'll find out when I hunt through the labs. You might as well tell me up front.
So you've no qualms about snooping through my
No.
precious
No,
research
not
files.
one. Not a single
But
qualm.
will you understand the data once you've acquired it? Essentially, we research new innovations for an array of Rizzo's products. My present troubles stem from one we've just developed. The product's potential for profit is nearly limitless. But I'm afraid explaining the science behind it would far exceed your capability for understanding.
Wow, okay then.
Now, was there anything else?
You know, I get the memory of what was his name? For Paralon Golgan, Dr. Lowe. You make me think of him, and I didn't like him very much. I can take care of your problem, but you need to answer them some questions afterward.
Excellent. You have my gratitude, and soon you'll have my knowledge of Miss Bellamy's recent visit as well. Now, if you'd rather not kill my lab techs during this cleanup, I believe you can dispense a sedative gas from a terminal in the utility room.
These people don't deserve to die, Captain. Let's try using the sedative.
Oh, alright.
The door to the lower labs is sealed for our safety, so you'll need to take the elevator down. I'll unseal the access hallway for you now. Do take care.
Alright. Try not to kill him. Fine, whatever. Yeah, you take all the fun of everything, Pavati, with your moralizing. Okay. I'm gonna triple check the area for anomalies. There are none. Alright. We'll go to the utility room and we'll sedate them and we'll move on. You know, I'm not heartless. Okay. Bard. Okay, we gotta find a way around. Hold back, and I might check the map. That's the room we want to get into. Now it's attached to this room, so this might be an open door. As far as I can tell, there's no way down. So I've either got to get around here. There's a guy basically right here. That might prove difficult. I wonder if there might be other ways around. So let's pop in here. Alright, we're trying to avoid combat with these guys. Alright. Are you... He's got two. I don't know how to distract them. Hold on, they actually are wandering. I'm gonna try popping around here. I don't think I need to worry about my companions being spotted. I don't think they can be. Alright, when this guy moves back, I'll go through this door. Parasite spawning, gotta be careful of that. Alright, there we go. Through. Oh, shit. Don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around. Straight
Rizzo's
through.
could have helped a lot of people with all the bits they poured into this place.
Alright, that gets us around. Bit of sneaky. Bit of sneaky. And that's the open door. We'll release the sedative gas, save these individuals' lives if we can just get around this area.
That's a lot more Rizzos than I ever want to see in my life.
Well, keep your voice down and we'll discuss it. You don't want to kill these people, so let's not attract their attention. I gotta get through on the other side here. He's moving. Then through the broken doorway. Just for you, Pavati. We've saved all of their lives. Luckily, we aren't affected by the sedative gas. We're in the same room.
It would seem the erratic footsteps of my pacing delirious employees have ceased. So I presume the sedative works. Please return to consultation at once. And do remember, Unauthorized access to confidential Rizzo's information is a capital offense.
Just try and kill me. Okay, well, now it's time to snoop. Now that we've gotten all them down, we've done the sneaky, now we'll do the snoopy. Do the snoopy? No, I don't know what's wrong with me either. Alright, let's have a look. We've got plenty of, like, level here to look through. So we'll start back here. In the bathrooms. There's very little in here. And we're keeping an eye out for possible access cards. So I don't think it'll be in the RR&DD labs. I think it'll be probably somewhere in the actual orchard somewhere. Probably up on that level that we passed nearby to come into these rooms. That's not a door. You're directly above me. I could probably enter the room you're in. Interesting. A worker's there. He's got flies over him, so I think he's dead. This top hat once belonged to Captain Phasian of Byzantium, last seen on Terran Monarch standing much too close to the edge of a sulfur pit. This pungent accessory should serve as a reminder of the many terrible dangers found on Monarch, and as an example of why no self-respecting Halcyonite should ever visit. I got friends on Monarch, that's not... That's just rude. Still got the anti-rebel sentiment. So we got these parasite creatures suspended in jelly. Quite a few of them around. Some experimentation, clearly some dissecting has been done on the larvae. I could dig some parasite jelly out of this spawnling that I haven't actually killed, I've just made unconscious. I'm not gonna do that. I feel like that's not what you... That would kind of ruin the theory of what I've actually done here, which is knock them out, not kill them. Alright, so the slug lab. Let's view the lab notes. The discovery. Slug lab. Finally finished the first set of experiments on those parasites we harvested from the infected would-be attraction animals. And the results have been... What the hell am I doing? Why am I taking this tone? Who's gonna see this aside from members of the research team? I barely need to mention how beyond completely phenomenal today's find has been. Not only have we discovered why Harold, the system's saddest teacup canid, had his remarkable turnaround. Frankly, I'm amazed no one realized anything was awry earlier. His cage was only about as large as he was. By the way, Myers, there goes your daily adreno injections theory, you buffoon. But we've also found something that would find me to a vice presidential position in no time. Remind me to devote a bunch of commemorating the Rizzo's semi-industrial exploration team for giving their lives to bring back the iridium gigaseous from the holy caves. I'll also be certain to devote an even larger bench to myself for finding the birth site of the parasites and ordering the experimentations to start. I've already been in talks with management about ideas for products that utilize the parasite's joy-intensifying hormones. As I suspected, this is the slug thing. This is where they're developing those slugs those workers have on their necks. It's amazing that Slug hasn't looked any deeper into this. We may have to cede them the land, but seemingly they haven't disturbed our research site. Well, their oversight is Rizzo's immense benefit. Great job, me. Dr. Blossom is very much pro-Rizzo's. Slug Lab. I'm sure some of you are still shaken by the events earlier today, but the course of science never did run smooth. The benefits of our research are easily worth the potential risks associated. Garcia would most certainly agree if she was still alive. I've talked to Administrator Ludovico about setting up some additional security measures in case of another test subject breach. In the meantime, for the love of the architect, do not infect an individual test subject with more than one parasite. The frenetic joy will have to be enough for now. I'm still looking into promotional means, but I think we'll find something soon. Some Rizzo's product engineers have discussed mass marketing the parasites and placing them in some kind of beverage to evenly distribute joy-inducing hormones. Things still seem very promising. I look forward to the day where I can leave this backwater facility behind. So, there was a breakout, I think, of those slugs somewhere, which is why those effusive hosts were covered in them. But they have been administering them to the workers one by one to increase productivity levels, as I should have expected. But how do they get them to be, like the slugs give you joy-inducing, how do they get them to be, attracted to Rizzo's as an institution? Slug Lab. Blossom demanded we help the engineering room team produce a gas that would target the neural links of individuals infected by Eridanos gigaseus, which is the slug, I think. Well, we did, and it was simple enough. Just isolated a particular cell type only found in the parasites and produced an enzyme that would shock them temporarily into stasis. But you better believe that the second she came to tell the administrator about it, she was the one who had developed the gas, and she was the one who had primarily been working with the engineering team to get everything together. She takes the credit for the initial finding, and even after Dr. Garcia's death, which was basically all Dr. Blossom's fault, she somehow manages to find a way to spin things in her favor. Some of the other researchers were talking about altering the gas not to target test subjects directly, but to target her, and for it not to render the target unconscious but dead. I wouldn't write this down, but I know Dr. Blossom doesn't read the log entries that she didn't write. Tell you their ideas are beginning to seem more and more appealing. Yeah, I get a very negative view of Dr. Blossom. Just at the instant someone starts talking about how good their IQ is, I immediately lose respect for them. That's all the lab notes, so let's read the messages. To the department, subject cadaver removal. At your earliest convenience, the Slug Lab requires your sanitation services for cadaver removal. This is to the Slug. There are 2 bodies at present in the RR&DD labs, 1 scientist and 1 test subject. Send a team to move the personnel corpse to the incinerator. After this, please send a hazard team to dispose of the last test subject. For highly classified reasons, the corpse can emit certain chemical compounds that are extremely dangerous if mishandled. Please don't skimp on the protective gear. We'd hate to hire a separate utility team to pick up the bodies of yours. Good day. And this is from Blossom to Department or RR&DD Lab employees, which is the one we read earlier. Okay, so Dr. Blossom is a social climbing anus, so I'm not fond of her much. Marketing Research Lab. Team, don't drink the coffee. I was told Blossom we weren't crazy. Every single one of us began to have clinical insomnia, and she tells us because we drink too much coffee? Well, it is because of the coffee, or more so because of what's in the coffee. I had the janitor swap out the coffee grinds an hour later than his usual morning, and what do you know? I've been asleep all day. Those jerks in product have been messing with our supply. Don't ask me how, I just know it. They think they're so smart because they know how molecules work? Well, they aren't the only ones that can create a chemical dependency. I've got a Pavlovian prank in space for the Spectrum Brown presentation that'll cause quite the show. Okay. From the Marketing Research Lab. Interesting. Curious. What do they mean by that? Because I think that's related to what happened to Ruth Bellamy. But they were applying, I think, this compound that they were making with the slugs into the coffee supply to see how it would diffuse beyond the employees, which was causing a lot of problems, as you might imagine unwitting chemical experiments on individuals might cause. Alright, to Blossom, subject Halcyon Helen. Dr. Blossom, we're thrilled to hear the news that Rizzo secured Halcyon Helen as the spokesperson for the new Spectrum product. Our data shows that she has a favorable disposition in many key categories, including the coveted 18 to 34 regularly employed existential crisis demographic. God knows they're great consumers. we'd be happy to show her some of our product advertisement ideas. Now, this is from Blossom. Subject, stop immediately. I am sending this message to both teams in marketing and product labs. I do not know the extent of your squabbles, but they end here. If it weren't for the incredible projection Spectrum Brown shows, we'd be out of work after that embarrassment at the presentation. I expect more from both departments. And then there's the commotion that we've already mentioned. That'll be sent to every computer, I imagine. Alright, someone interfered with the presentation. Has that already happened, or is that somehow involved in Halcyon Helen's death? Although they said a Pavlovian prank. I don't know if I'd call first-degree murder a prank, and certainly not Pavlovian behavior. So I wonder what they were actually planning. I think it may just be coincidence. I don't see any other terminals, apart from the one in here. Well, I'll have a look up here. That's a off terminal, and a tactical shotgun 3. I'm not really using the shotgun. I very much like this weapon. Okay, why is everything all messed up in here? I think this might be part of what was mentioned as to the commotion. Probably the breakout. There's been a hole blown through a wall here, and all the shelving units are knocked over. Memo, new employee orientation. Welcome, insert name. We're happy to have you as the new mechanic custodian at insert location. It is your responsibility to ensure the location of your employment is tidy and works like a charm. Your duties include, but are not limited to, cleaning of all surfaces, regular maintenance of all machinery, restocking employee break areas, maintenance of all electronic systems, keeping inventory of the location's operational item reserves, voluntary assistance for the lab's research as needed, maintaining thorough documentation for your possible successor. We know that sounds like a lot, but don't worry, your predecessor kept thorough documentation for your needs that you can find on this terminal. We hope you're excited to begin this most fulfilling career, and remember, whoa, 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 it's Rizzo's! I don't remember the exact jingle to that, and I can't sing for the life of me, so don't worry about it. This is the file, how to be a janitor, utility terminal, training file corrupted, please guess how to do your job to the best of your ability. Of course it is. Alright, available logs. First day. Utility terminal. I've gotten 17 requests from the lab workers that I had to respond to, and also managed to find time to sweep, mop, and buff this whole place. I was hoping that the employee how-to document would help with some of these machines, but I've never seen before in my life. But guess what? The arsehole left it completely blank. Or, no, yeah, probably. Corrupted was an excuse. Gas hookup, utility terminal. I've got a request from Dr. Blossom to hook up the gas lines to some canisters that are mixed with a heavy sedative for dispersal in the lower labs. Luckily, I've got enough experience cleaning up all the muck that builds up from the vents to get it all done in a couple of days. Still, I wonder what they're needing this for. I think they took the last of the Raptidons out of the lab last week. I guess the pheromone flavoring results weren't as promising as they'd hoped. Well, they needed some backup to deal with the possible aggressiveness of the human test subjects. Experiment participation. Jackpot. Since I read that stupid orientation document, I've been hoping they'd ask me to volunteer for something, and here it is. I get to be a taste tester for the newest Spectrum flavor. I'm heading to the lab right now, after I fix and clog the showers. So exciting. And that was the last message that was mentioned. Heading to the lab. That might have been him on the table over there. I think I've been through everything here. I'm not 100% certain. Well, I'm going to head up the ladders here. So we know they were working on the slugs. See, it's either him or him. I'm not sure which one. Well, that looks ruined. So I can't head back up behind them. They seem to have blasted the door closed. So I've got to head up the regular manner. I think that was pretty effective. I didn't kill anyone that didn't need to be killed. I might be going the wrong way. I am. Excuse me. Over here. No. Where's the way out? I'm lost. That way. Possibly this way. Exit. Okay, got it. bit of a rabbit warren, but it's alright.
Just doing the... Oh my law. It's you. Wait. What do you think you are?
The hell was that?
I think someone just got their head blown off. By... I don't know who. I was going to read that terminal. Yeah, Dr. Blossom's been shot in the head.
Shit. This case just got a bit more interesting.
Oh, that's cold, Nyoka. A woman just got... I mean, she was an asshole, but she did just get murdered right in front of you.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
That's not Blossom.
Confirmation of discrepancy confirmed. This person is most definitely dead. But recently, they were still alive.
It's a good thing you're here, Discrepancy Amplifier. Nothing gets past you, does it? I'm going to examine the body. You're sure you heard gunshots earlier, and yet this victim's loss of blood is oddly minimal. Oh, could be a plasma weapon? And you wouldn't have sounded like gunshots. Although you distinctly remember hearing gunshots over the intercom, you don't see any bullet casings.
Anyone else think there should be more bullet holes here?
What an awful place to die. What do you think happened to her?
5 kills in and out before we could catch a glimpse of the culprit. I'd expect more blood. I heard gunshots over the intercom, but I don't see any casings. Yeah, I'm curious about that. What was it a sound effect and they used some other method? Or did they shoot themselves? I'm not sure.
I remember those gunshots. Energy weapons don't sound that way. Killer must have been using something exotic.
Do we think it's got anything to do with those biodegradable bullets I heard of earlier? There's Blossom. Yeah, no bullet holes in her. I'll take your office key card. Apparently I'm taking your clothes as well.
The organic matter that comprises this lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already stand. The organic matter
Yeah, you're gonna say the same thing.
lab worker died at a similar time and of similar circumstance as the other corpses already stand.
No, I don't see any evidence of anyone running away. By now they're long gone. Alright. Well, we know they're all dead. We know they probably weren't killed by conventional firearms. Now, they could have been using caseless ammunition. And they could have had... Well, wouldn't you expect more blood? Mind the gas canisters. These are some memos. This is your friendly custodial staff offering a preemptive apology if the elevator hall is crowded with gas canisters. There are quite a few of them and only one of me, so I'm moving them in loads down to the utility room. Do be cautious. They're filled with a sedative potent enough to put a hungry mama raptidon out cold. Thank you for your understanding. And there's an after-work bar meetup. Dear esteemed colleagues, my team and I are all headed to the Grand Colonial's bar this evening for some drinking and fellowship. All real scientists are welcome to join us. You know, the ones that produce quantifiable data and theorems that don't spend their time jabbering over how this lighting and that bottle will increase customer sentiment. Cheers from someone who understands that market researchers aren't real scientists. Team, as we continue our new round of research in product development, I am increasing the required safety gear for lab workers involved. As some of you know, a few recent accidents involving subjects have left workers' main scarred, and one of the worker had their left hand permanently discolored to a shade of lime green. Rizzo's Research and Development District Labs is expected to continually produce revolutionary advancements in the food and beverage industry. These measures will help us in further pursuit of that mission. Dr. Blossom. Okay, that's not really helpful information. But the fact that someone quite correctly was not a fan of the market researchers. So many terminals. I'm going to read this one first. Collect all 8 variants of the Spectrum vodka. All core systems operative. Weapon requires loaded Spectrum vodka array to be functional. A vodka shotgun? Open case. I've got 2 of 8. I need 6 more. View lab notes. I can find some of these. I suppose I can buy them. Spectrum Gatling Terminal. The Gatling taunts me from behind its glass cage. The infernal void-damned thing refuses to work, and I know exactly... well, I know the exact cause. It's me. Why am I wired like this? Why? Whenever I try to fiddle with the internals sober, I broke parts off, or connections failed to fire, or pieces struck out of the casing and shorted the other components. So of course the solution was obvious. Get at least a little plastered prior to the work period. Every work period. When I'm relaxed, my hands don't shake, and it's so much easier to see where things should fit, or how to bridge certain connections. The inebriati have been at work in this location. The problem, of course, is that I also get artistic. Why should a weapon work on mechanics alone? Why should you have to, say, slot one of every single fucking kind of Spectrum vodka into this thing before it will fire for the first time? I don't know if it's tied to the weapon's internals or some kind of lock, but it seems like it should fire and absolutely will not. I have to get one of every single kind of Spectrum, including black. I only hope the storage warehouse has had a recent shipment of the entire Spectrum, or all this work will have been for nothing. I have to be the dumbest genius this side of Halcyon. From Blossom. She was working on this. Alright, one of each. What if I... is it going to tell me what I've inserted into it? At the end of Spectrum. I have found red and orange. So I need green, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and black, but not originals, which is good because I already gave that away. I can probably buy some of these at a bar. I might have a look at the bar at the Continental, no, the Colonial, sorry. And black will be the hard one to get. I might need to look into a storage room for that. What ask at the Nut Hut about Spectrum vodka? Okay. I can also ask at the Purpleberry Nut Hut, which I will do. Okay. Let's read this terminal. Welcome, Dr. Blossom. Let's start with the files this time. Let's hack 65 and look at these parasite findings. Tests involving the parasite Eridanium gigaseus, colloquially dubbed slugs, have produced astounding results, even when compared against our most promising methods of producing a brain chemical dependency. The pheromone the Eridanium gigaseus secretes produces dopamine more efficiently than anything on record. Further tests will continue researching how much of the compound we can introduce to subjects and observe the effects. Despite our less than ideal presentation to administration, the product impressed for two main reasons. As mentioned before, this product will produce a boozy, feel-good stimulus like no other, but more importantly, the pheromone makeup is completely unique, which means that there are no regulations surrounding its classification. The idea of a completely addictive product with zero law surrounding it would certainly justify any means. Yeah, that's... I'm not a fan of this. I like how they're opt-in. You have to make sure you know... like, if it's a specific compound that isn't specifically regarded under the laws, you don't have to justify it. Usually it's the other way around, or it ought to be the other way around. Anything should have to be tested before it's approved. This file deleted, and only the hackable file was available. Messages. From Ludovico, subject, Halcyon Helen's lab tour. Apologies for the late notice, but Ms. Bellamy has requested a tour of the facilities while she is visiting Eridanos as Halcyon Helen. Please prepare her for arrival this morning. Oh yeah, this also mentions that I don't get any information about Halcyon Helen's visit here. I did a bunch of stuff for her. I even saved the life of her crew, and I didn't even get them to tell me why. From Blossom, note to self. Well, Leori, you did it again. At long last, you located a bottle of Spectrum Black hidden in a crevice of a musty shelf space in the storage warehouse last night. That much closer to finally getting the Spectrum Gatling to work. And what happened? You got all the way back to the water tower before running into a group of primals, already diverting themselves with the fruits of the fermented variety. One bad blackout later, and here you are, covered in primal vomit, without the Spectrum Black. Get it together. I get the feeling Ms. Blossom had a bit of a problem. And this is from Blossom to the apartments, and that's her sent message that we've already read. Okay, view the download confirmation. Successfully downloaded to the data cartridge. Use the discrepancy amplifier to find additional clues. Report that to the administrator.
monster kills all these people over a data cartridge?
A corporate monster. I can hear another...
Body heat readings indicate that the culprit was just here, mere moments earlier in the timeline.
Examine the grate.
Looks like a standard ventilation shaft to me. Somebody around my size could have crawled in. Wouldn't have been comfortable or, you know, clean. Ventilation shafts usually turn into sprat nests.
And how... They must have replaced the grate. I suppose they can do that. Oh no, the grate is open. Excuse me. I thought that was... I thought the vent was here. The vent's up there. I thought the vent was behind the grate, so it's opened. That's a cut wire in the box. Someone wanted the power cut to something, but you're not quite sure what.
See that red wire? Whoever cut that wire was trying to disrupt the circuit. They could have sealed the lab doors temporarily. At least until the failsafes kicked in.
Yeah, I mean, anyone who cuts a wire is probably trying to disrupt a circuit, but that's how circuits work. I can't reach up there. I could probably climb this if the game would let me. So, what do we know about that? We know someone tried to... That file was downloaded to a data cartridge and deleted from the terminal. So, they killed them for whatever the research was. You think it might have been someone trying to stop the research? Seems likely enough. But some very capable assassin has done this, as we have previously mentioned. So in killed the supporters and out in a matter of seconds. This isn't probably Black Hole Bertie's work, then. What did I just pick up? Precision something or other. Got so many keycards. I picked up... That might have been junk. No. I just picked up something, I don't know what it is. Oh no, this one. Okay. I'm gonna add that to junk. I'm keeping the mono lens though, because that's unique. And I'll let you keep that. I probably should get rid of that arm that day where I picked up. Alright. Well, I think we've just made more questions than answers, but questions that might point us in the right direction. Whatever it was, if those two things are related, the death of Helen and the death of Blossom, if they were perpetrated by the same person, it might have been some kind of attempt, maybe it's some kind of attempt to sabotage Rizzo's for doing a bunch of evil stuff. Or maybe it's something entirely separate.